Hello? Hey, hon. Getting out of work? Yeah, my day was fine. The kids weren't too difficult, but the roads have been pretty bad. I wasn't planning on it. I have the bus, so I can't really stop to pick anything up. I was just thinking we could order in. Well, I suppose there's that leftover turkey in the fridge we could. Jesus Christ! No! The car in front of me just went into a tree. Yeah, I'm gonna stop and see if they're all right. Let me call you back. What the? Holy! Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Are you hurt?
No, really, I'm fine. I think I just slid on some ice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This is such a dangerous corner. Are you sure you didn't hit your head?
No, I didn't.
Why don't I call for help?
No, you don't have to.
It really isn't an issue. I have my phone right in the bus.
No, please. Don't call anyone, please.
I think it might be the best.
Listen, sir, I appreciate your help. I have my phone in the car. I can just call AAA myself.
All right. Let me at least go home and get you a jacket. You're shivering.
What's your emergency?
Yes. Hi. I'm calling to report a car accident. No, it wasn't my car. It happened near my house. I live on Route 112, near the sharp corner by the Red Barn. Just one person involved, a young woman. Yeah, she seems fine. I wouldn't have called otherwise except, well, the car reeks of alcohol. Yes, I'll absolutely wait with her. Thank you. This is my wife's. It should fit you well. Hello? Hello?
On February 9th, 2004, 21-year-old Maura Murray crashed her car into a tree after sliding from a sharp corner of New Hampshire Highway 112. In the short time between refusing help from a passerby and police arrival on the scene, Maura vanished without a trace. The bizarre events that occurred in the days leading up to and following her disappearance have sparked widespread intrigue regionally. Even today, 2 decades on, Maura's travel preparation and unknown destination has led investigators to dead ends. Over time, Maura Murray's disappearance has garnered an avid online following. The case is often cited as social media's earliest crime mystery, as the events unfolded during a time when MySpace and Facebook were rising in prominence. Many wannabe crime sleuths have spent hours upon hours dedicated to Maura, hoping they can crack the code as to what happened that cold, icy evening. Our new staff writer, Keelan Brown, brought this case to my attention. Like these online sleuths, he became obsessed with the story because of all the mystery around Maura and frustrating dead ends. Welcome to Dead Time Stories. A quick disclaimer: due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, some names of involved parties remain unknown to the public. For the purpose of clarity, we have given them their own names. So, where the hell do we begin? How about February 5th, 2004, 4 days before disappearing? Maura Murray is a transfer student at UMass Amherst, having spent the previous year at West Point Military Academy. She made the switch in order to pursue her longtime interest of nursing. To support herself financially, Maura worked 2 on-site jobs, including one with campus safety.
Good evening, Sergeant Hanson.
Maura, you are 15 minutes late.
I'm sorry, Sergeant. I was having some car trouble.
We are slammed with a bunch of parking violations today. I need you to go through the slips and record them in our spreadsheets.
I'm on it.
All clear on the fire in Bush Hall.
Toward the end of the shift, Sergeant Hanson heard Maura's cell phone ring through the office.
I'm so sorry, boss. Can I please answer this? It's important.
Make it quick, Maura.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, is this a bad time?
I mean, I'm at work. Is this an emergency?
I just wanted to tell you that I...
The phone call lasted only minutes, and Maura was noticeably quiet afterwards. The mood quickly shifted as Sergeant Hanson witnessed Maura break down into tears.
Maura? Maura, hun, what's wrong?
My sister.
Maura didn't divulge any more information, instead falling into an unresponsive and emotional state. As the shift ended, Sergeant Hanson escorted Maura back to her dorm. She noted that Maura was completely zoned out during the walkover and appeared nearly catatonic as she went inside for the evening. February 7th, 2004, 2 days before disappearing. Maura's father, Fred Murray, arrives from out of town.
Great to see you, Dad.
You too, sweetie.
How was the drive over here?
Wasn't too bad. Pretty icy in parts. Now, why don't we take a look at your car?
Maura's Saturn was breaking down and steaming in the days prior. It was preventing her from getting to work on time.
That's what it sounded like the other day.
Yeah, I think there's no hope for it. We should probably look at just getting you a new one.
Together, they got into Fred's Toyota Corolla and drove to the local used car dealership.
I'm telling you, Maura, I've had a lot of luck with my Corolla.
I know, Dad, but the cars here, they're in pretty rough shape.
Well, we don't want to be getting into prices much higher, hon.
Come on, Dad. I'm making more than enough money with my 2 jobs. I can afford something a little more.
It's not just about what we can afford, Maura. Your credit is in the drain right now, and I'm not sure they'll let me co-sign on anything more expensive.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Maura was on probation at the time. At the start of the semester, she was caught using stolen credit cards to order food from several restaurants. College students gotta do what they gotta do, am I right?
You're right, Dad. I'm sorry.
It's all right, hon. How about we pick this up tomorrow and grab some dinner?
Sounds great. Hey, would it be okay if my friend Kate tagged along?
Sure, why not?
Fred picked up Kate, and the 3 of them ate at the local brew pub. Little did they know that having Kate there would alter the course of the evening.
Oh my God, Maura! Sarah's having a party at her place tonight. I guess her boyfriend wants to prove he could do a cake stand. We have to go.
I mean, I'd be totally down, Kate. But Sarah lives on the North Campus and my car's shot. How are we supposed to get there?
Why don't you guys take the Corolla?
No, Dad, I wouldn't do that to you.
Why not? This keg stand sounds impressive. And besides, my room's got cable.
You rock, Mr. Murray!
It's not a problem. Just be responsible, ladies.
After finishing dinner, Maura dropped her dad off at his motel room before her and Kate continued on to their party. It was a fun night at the start, and I heard that keg stand was pretty impressive.
Kate! Kate, come here! I want to talk to you.
What's up, Maura?
I think you have really nice hair.
I think you're drunk. Yeah, can you do a cake stand, Maura?
No, but get me another beer.
As the hours ticked away and the kegs depleted, the laughter shifted to shouts as Maura became intent on driving home.
Kate! Where did you put my keys? I need to get the car back to my dad.
I hid them. You are too drunk to drive.
Kate, I'm fine. Trust me.
Maura, you could just crush on my couch tonight. It's fine.
No. I need to get the car back to my dad or he's gonna be pissed.
I'm sure you would understand. Come on, Maura. There are RAs walking around everywhere. Just stay here.
After some further belligerent persuasion, Maura was able to get a hand on the keys and quickly left the party. While drunkenly en route to the motel, Maura crashed her father's car on a guardrail, causing nearly $10,000 worth of damage. The police arrived on scene and conducted an accident report. Somehow, Maura was able to avoid taking a sobriety test, but this wasn't enough to save her from the guilt she felt when returning to her dad's room.
Maura, why didn't you just call me?
I don't know what I was thinking. I feel so stupid.
I'm just glad you're all right. The damage wasn't too bad. I think the insurance will cover it.
But what if the state finds out I was drunk driving? I mean, doesn't that violate my parole?
By morning, Fred confirmed with his insurance company that the accident would be covered. Instead of disowning Maura or making her use one of those old stolen credit cards to pay for the damages, Fred got a rental. Before leaving, he said goodbye to his daughter.
All right, goodbye.
Unaware that it would be the last time he would see her. February 9th, 2004, the day of. A snowstorm batters the rural college town overnight, canceling classes for the day. At around 1 p.m., Maura logged onto her computer. First, she went on MapQuest and searched for different directions to northern Vermont and western Massachusetts. Next, she emailed her long-distance boyfriend.
I love you more, stud. I got your messages, but honestly, I didn't feel like talking to much of anyone. I promised to call today, though. Love you, Maura.
After, Maura got on her phone. She called a condo association based in northern New Hampshire. She was familiar with the company, having vacationed there with her family years prior.
Hi, I was just hoping I could get some prices for a weekend rental.
After finishing the call, Maura called a nursing classmate, presumably to ask a school-related question. A little while later at 1:24 p.m., Maura got back onto her computer and emailed her professors.
Dear Professor, I'm reaching out to let you know that I will be out of town for the rest of the week. There has been an unexpected death in the family. I will reach out when I am back in town where we can discuss any work I need to make up. Sincerely, Maura.
Next, Maura got back onto her phone and called multiple hotels in North Vermont. She didn't make reservations with any of them. After this, at 2:18 p.m., Maura attempted to call her boyfriend.
Hey, this is Billy. Sorry I didn't pick up. I'm probably busy. Try again later or just leave a message.
Hey, I was wondering if you were free to talk, but it doesn't seem like it. Let's talk later.
Once finished, Maura began to pack. Items in her backpack included clothes, toiletries, textbooks, and birth control pills. At 3:30 p.m., Maura was able to get her car started.
Ugh, thank God.
10 minutes after this, Maura went to an ATM and withdrew $280. Immediately after, she went to the store and purchased Irish cream, Kahlua, vodka, beer, and wine. And finally at 4 p.m., after picking up accident forms from the local DMV, Maura headed north. As she passed into Vermont, the environment around her became more rural and isolated. Towns turned into villages, rolling fields into dense forests. At 4:37 p.m., Maura checked her voicemail. This would be the last time she used her phone.
You have no new messages.
She continued north, driving neatly along the west side of the Vermont and New Hampshire border. Eventually, around 7 p.m., Maura turned right, leaving the safety of the highway and into the winding, untreated roads of northern New Hampshire. The slick conditions from recent storms, along with a troublesome car, created an unstable driving experience. And then, sometime before 7:30, Maura crashed her car. February 9th, 2004, 7:46 p.m., 15 minutes after disappearing. Chief Cecil Smith is the first to arrive on the scene. Butch Atwood, the bus driver, waits patiently to tell his part of the story.
Evening, Chief. Sorry to call you out so late.
Quite all right, Butch. It's been a slow day anyhow. You mentioned on your call that you smelled alcohol in the car.
She and the car reeked of it. She was pretty adamant that I not call the cops.
And where is she now?
No clue. You know my place is right around the corner. I went to grab her a coat, and by the time I got back, she was already gone.
Interesting. Have you been in the car?
Not at all. Haven't even thought of it.
Thank you for your help, Butch.
Officer Smith moved to the vehicle next, hoping to get more answers. The inside indeed reeked of booze. An empty beer bottle and a damaged box of wine were found in the back seat, along with a AAA card, accident forms, diamond jewelry, MapQuest directions to northern Vermont, and a book on mountain climbing. Next, Officer Smith checked around the woods immediately around the car. There were no signs of footprints tracked in the snow.
What do you think, Chief?
My guess? She probably figured you were going to call the police and decided to book it. I'll take a quick drive up the road and see if I can find her. She couldn't have gone far.
Officer Smith drove about a mile up the road, unable to find any trace of Maura. February 10th, 2004, one day after disappearing. Haverhill Police Department learns the title of the car belongs to Fred Murray. Officer Smith tried all morning before finally getting a hold of Fred.
This is Fred.
Hi. Mr. Murray, I'm Officer Smith. I'm calling to let you know that your 96 Saturn was in a car accident.
What?
We discovered the vehicle abandoned yesterday, and we just wanted to...
Wait, abandoned? Yesterday? Why wasn't I notified about this sooner? Is my daughter okay?
That's what we were hoping to ask you, Mr. Murray. We haven't been able to locate the driver, your daughter.
Jesus! Fuck! So you're telling me my Maura is missing?
We aren't sure of anything yet. That's why we were hoping to talk with you.
You guys haven't put out a search party or anything?
We made a public lookout alert yesterday evening. If we don't get word that she's safe by tomorrow, we'll begin to conduct a search.
I can't believe this.
February 11th, 2004, 2 days after disappearing. No one has heard from Maura. Detective John Scarenza is assigned to the case. He has a comprehensive background in missing persons and decides to check Maura's dorm first.
Maura? Maura, this is Detective John Scarenza. Are you in there?
After getting no response, the detective was able to open the door and found a peculiar sight. Nearly all of Maura's belongings were packed neatly into boxes set on her bed. On top of one of the boxes, the detective found a printed copy of an email thread between Maura and her boyfriend Billy Rausch. The conversation between the two signaled trouble in their relationship.
You didn't respond to any of my emails yesterday. How the hell are we supposed to make a long-distance relationship work if you don't do your part of the communicating? I miss you a lot, and I love you more than anything. Call me later, Billy.
I love you more, stud. I got your messages, but honestly, I didn't feel like talking to much of anyone today. Promise to call today, though. Love you, Maura.
Meanwhile, back in Haverhill, an official search began. Fred and Billy both arrived to personally help out, and search dogs were brought in to assist. Using a pair of gloves found in Maura's car, the dogs picked up a scent. They were able to trace the scent 100 yards up the road from the crash site before the scent was suddenly lost.
Officer Smith, what does this tell us?
Usually when dogs lose a scent that quickly, it means they have nowhere to look. Perhaps Maura hitchhiked and got picked up by someone?
A search was conducted in an immediate 1-mile radius from the crash site. The attempt was a failure, as there was no trace of any clothing or footprints tracked in the snow. February 12th, 2004, 3 days after disappearing. Detective Scarenza begins to retrace Maura's steps. Knowing that she had liquor in the car at the time of the accident, the detective paid a visit to the local Amherst liquor stores.
Have you seen this woman?
Yeah, she came in here a couple days ago. Ordered quite a bit of stuff.
I'd like to access your security footage.
After obtaining a copy of the footage, Detective Scarenza was able to deduce that Maura took her cell phone, credit cards, and hard alcohol with her after fleeing the accident. The detective tracked back the phone and cards, but found that neither of them were used after the accident. Meanwhile, back in Haverhill, Maura's family and local police held their first press conference.
We are asking the public to be on the lookout for Ms. Murray, as we believe her to be in danger and possibly suicidal. With the information we have gathered in our preliminary investigation, we believe Maura may have been headed toward the Kankamagus Highway. At this time, we do not know why Maura was headed in this direction, nor do we have enough evidence to support foul play.
We are begging the public to come forward if they have any information regarding our daughter's whereabouts. Maura is kind, ambitious, and so full of life. We just want her home.
Wait, Mr. Maura, okay, right here. Look over, right here.
February 20th, 2004, 10 days after disappearing. With the search turning up absolutely no trace of Maura, and local authorities feeling exhausted with their options, the FBI gets involved. More advanced search dogs were brought in from out of state, where they searched a larger radius. About 2 miles from the crash site, the search party made an interesting discovery.
What did you guys find?
A pair of women's underwear. Ripped.
Think it could be Maura's?
No telling for sure. We can get this scanned for DNA ASAP.
Meanwhile, Detective Scarenza began preliminary interviews with people of interest, starting with Maura's father.
Fred, I know you saw Maura a few days before she disappeared. Did she say anything about driving north?
No, not at all.
Maura wrote to her professors that there was a death in the family, and that's why she had to leave campus. Is this true?
No. I don't know why she would say that. We haven't had any death in the family.
Maura's boyfriend was the next to be interviewed.
How you holding up, Billy?
I'm very tired, to be honest.
We're all tired, son. I pray that we can see an end to this soon.
I feel you there.
I need to ask you some personal questions. Do you feel ready?
Sure, what's up?
How did you and Maura meet?
We met at West Point. We were both cadets.
But she transferred for her second year, right?
Yeah, she wanted to study nursing instead.
How did it make you feel?
I mean, I wasn't jazzed about it. But I was getting stationed in Oklahoma. We were gonna have to do long distance anyway.
And how did the long distance relationship go?
It had its moments, but we made it work pretty well. What is the relevance of this, Detective?
To be honest, Billy, I'm not sure if it even is relevant. Nothing in this case feels relevant. I'm just trying to connect the dots and find Maura.
November 2004, 9 months after disappearing. DNA collected from the underwear proves they did not belong to Maura. No conclusive evidence has been found in New Hampshire that connects to the disappearance, and initial search efforts are scaled back. Despite this, Fred Murray continues to go back to Haverhill every weekend. One such weekend, he has an interesting conversation with a local man.
Good evening, Mr. Murray.
Hi, how can I help you?
Well, Mr. Murray, I don't mean to startle you, but I think I may have something useful for your case.
What do you mean?
The man, Tim Cantwell, handed Fred a rusty, stained knife.
What the hell is this?
It's my brother's. His name's Mark. He's been acting real bizarre these last few months. I think he used it to kill your daughter.
Clearly startled by this claim, Fred requested authorities follow the lead. Police went to question Mark at his home, which was only a few miles from the crash site. He was adamant about not letting authorities inside.
Last thing I need are pigs coming in and wrecking my home. I had nothing to do with that disappearance. And don't you fucking listen to Timmy. I think he probably just wanted the reward money. He's got a drug problem, you know.
February 9th, 2005, exactly 1 year after disappearing. A vigil is held at the accident site. Shortly thereafter, Fred Murray gives one of his first public interviews since the disappearance, with the intent of expressing his grievances regarding the investigation.
From day one, this investigation has been totally mismanaged by the authorities. Everyone was so convinced earlier on that Maura was suicidal, but I really don't think she was. I was with her that week before. We were getting her a car. I don't know why my daughter drove north. I don't know why she didn't tell any of us where she was going. I do know it wasn't to kill herself. Why would she bring DMV forms with her? Why would she tell her teachers she would be coming back to campus? I think she was picked up by someone. I think some dirtbag offered her a ride and didn't take her where she wanted to go. She could be anywhere at this point. And I don't know if we'll ever find her.
February 9th, 2012. 8 years after disappearing. A video is uploaded to YouTube under the name 112 Dirtbag. The bizarre video simply consisted of an old man laughing maniacally for 2 minutes, followed by a title card reading Happy Anniversary. Many online were quick to connect the video to Maura's disappearance, as the video was uploaded on the anniversary of her car accident. In addition, the username 112 Dirtbag not only refers to the road Maura crashed on, but also to the nickname Fred Murray gave to her potential kidnappers. Authorities and Maura's family reviewed the video and concluded that it was a cruel and hideous ploy at attention. February 2014, 10 years after disappearing. The search for Maura has officially moved to New Hampshire's Cold Case Unit. The strange situation surrounding the disappearance amassed a strong online following over the decade, hoping to help piece together everything that happened before and following the car crash. One such sleuth, James Renner, was particularly dedicated to the case and spent a lot of his free time trying to learn more about Maura and why she wanted to go north in the first place. James had his own theories that he felt needed to be shared with investigators.
This is Detective Scarenza.
John, listen, don't hang up. I know what happened to Maura.
James.
Maura wanted to disappear. Everyone has been too focused on the accident itself and not enough on what happened in the days before.
James, we don't
Maura
have...
was already in trouble with the law, and she knew that her drunk driving was going to get her in trouble.
All right, James, fine. Let's say Maura wanted to disappear. How would she do it? Where would she have gone?
I think she was driving tandem with someone. I think she crashed her car, got picked up by whoever was following her, and the two drove up north together.
To where?
Montreal!
James, you're a terrible investigator. This is all circumstantial.
No. There's a photo I saw on Facebook that looks exactly like Maura. I think she changed her identity. I plan to go up there this weekend to find her.
Leave it alone, James. You have no business getting involved in this. And stop digging into this family's personal life. They've been through enough already and don't need some creep online to obsess over their missing daughter.
You've all given up on Maura. Me and the other online criminologists are the only ones who care about her anymore.
How's it going?
Look deeper. The truth is right in your...
Summer 2017, 13 years after disappearing. Maura's older sister, Kathleen Murray, spoke publicly for the first time since the disappearance.
Everyone online is so fixated on the phone call Maura and I had before she disappeared. The theories that have arisen are ridiculous and sensational. I'm sick of it. I called Maura while she was at work that night because I had a confession I needed to get off my chest. In early 2004, I had checked myself into rehab. I was a recovering alcoholic. I got discharged the night we talked. My fiancé had come to pick me up, and we immediately went to a liquor store. To this day, I feel so fucking guilty. Like, I was the one who maybe sent her over the edge. I don't know. I just wish that our last conversation wasn't like that.
February 2019, 15 years after disappearing. Fred Murray openly believes that his daughter is dead. He also is convinced that Mark Cantwell had something to do with her disappearance. For years prior, Mark was adamant about not letting the search go inside his home, despite Cadaver picking up scents on the property. However, Mark eventually moved out of the home and the new owners were a lot more cooperative.
We should start in the basement.
Excavation began in hopes to find any sort of trace of Maura. It was the first glimmer of hope for Fred in years.
I found something!
Let me see! Let me see!
The search turned up nothing but some aged copper rods. And now, we're back to present day. As I sit here recording this episode, the mystery of Maura Murray remains unsolved. All we are left with is a chain of circumstantial evidence that only leads to dead ends that feel unsolvable. No other disappearances of a similar nature have happened in the area during the following 2 decades. No one has been able to find Maura, her cell phone, or her cards. The influence of Maura's case continues to prevail online, with dozens of websites and groups dedicated to finding her. To this day, the case remains one of New England's most bizarre disappearances. If you have any information regarding Maura's disappearance, please contact investigators at coldcaseunit@dos.nh.gov. Maura Murray is Missing was written by Keelan Brown and narrated and edited by me, Skylar Fastenau. Daniel Jones produced the episode, and Chelsea Bray was our recording engineer. Voice talent was provided by Rainey Blake, Jordan Catcher, Daniel Jones, Jeremy Staple, Tamara Perry, Matt McNelly, Jeanette Zosh, Vince Perez, Alan Anthony Morion, Taylor Shirty, and Sophia Sassone. Our gorgeous new theme song was written and performed by Tracy Zales. I have the best news of 2020 for you. The original Dead Time Stories is now live on Patreon, and we have some amazing gifts for those of you who subscribe to our Patreon page. I'm talking completely ad-free episodes, early access to new episodes, entry into the Dead Time Stories vault, and of course, everyone's favorite thing, merchandise. A complete breakdown is available on our Patreon, and the link to that is in the episode description. So go ahead and check it out today. And as always, thank you so much for supporting independent artists. We are truly nothing without you. Thank you for joining us for another chapter of the original Dead Time Stories. Now, I know you loved what you heard, so go ahead and give us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcasting app. You can also check out our social media pages on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for a behind-the-scenes look at the episode or to find out more about the case that we just didn't have time to cover. We'll be back in just 1 week with the first of our yearly Halloween specials. If you love 1980s horror slasher films, then you will definitely want to tune into these. Until then, stay safe out there. I don't want you to become the next chapter's topic on the original Dead Time Stories.